What is happening today, guys? Welcome back to Trap Trades, and we are going to be going over 3 stocks in crypto. The first one being Bitcoin. We're going to be going over stock or SoundHound AI, and then Webull. All three, I believe, are going to be in a good spot going forward. Just have to find a good relative entry on these plays. But for Bitcoin here, Bitcoin looks really, really nice. I put down a short yesterday going over the breakout and how I'm more convicted in Bitcoin right now than I've probably ever been. And this is because it just looked nice. You had a hammer candle off of this bounce off the 200-day moving average on the 4-hour chart. I know that's a lot that I just spit out. But it's meaningful. It's very meaningful to see this 4-hour print, the hammer candle, and that's when I released the short there. And since that, let's just do a little. Since that, you're up 5%, 5 measly percent. Ain't nothing if you're doing short-term swings, but it's more than just that, guys. You have the higher low, and you have the breakout of the channel here. And what happens after the breakout of the channel is the question. In my opinion, you're looking to get above 110 to 19 range, and then you're looking at all-time highs. You are in this either cup and handle or inverse head and shoulders pattern here. And if I can go to the daily, it's really just a matter of time. Time is your friend here, and the more we coil, the more explosive this move can be. So if you take the measured move, I'm sure I've done this 1,000 times, but that takes you up to that 160 to 170K range, guys. And there's no saying that it would get there. Personally, myself, I would get out around the 130 to 140 range because I don't like to top tick. I think if you go to top tick the 170 price range, institutions are going to dump on you, and you are not going to make any money. You're going to see it ride all the way up and then all the way back down. But this looks really, really good, guys. Worst case scenario, you could form this double top formation here, and you would not like to see that because that would bring you down to 67 to 50 to 40K range. And that would be bear market levels, which we wouldn't want to see. But there is so much good stuff, so many good catalysts coming Bitcoin's way, a lot of bills and legislation. Hopefully the big, beautiful bill is passed, because typically when the government prints, so does the stock market. Prints money, because that money finds its way to there because there's so many corrupt politicians. Just saying it how it is. But that's Bitcoin on the long term. Bitcoin on the short term, if you zoom in here, worst case scenario on the short term is you do some kind of fake out again, and you go to the bottom of this channel right around $97,000 to $94,000. Maybe you test the 200-day moving average. Unlikely, in my opinion. There's so much momentum and steam here. It's literally like a train going choo-choo. I can see this thing going much, much higher, and I would expect a retest of about 107 unless this thing is just ready to go, but I would expect the retest. Now let's get into SoundHound AI, something that I have been posting a lot about on Twitter, and something that I am pretty passionate about because it just looks like it's firing on all cylinders here. So let's start from the weekly on this one, and let's consecutively go down time frames. The weekly, you just got the weekly MACD cross. And so I am a momentum trader. I love to see positive momentum. And this indicator, the MACD, is that. It is exactly that. It's a momentum-based indicator. And with that weekly MACD cross, the last time you got that on the weekly time frame, guys, just to keep you up to date, you got a 500% move. I'm not saying you're going to do that again. Of course, it's not financial advice at all. But if you got a 500% move, y'all, let's take that measured move from the breakout here. Whoops. 500% move would take you around that price target of $55. And that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see a reclaim of this previous all-time high at 18. There is also a gap fill here on sound at about $13 to $14. Very, very similar situation to SoFi, and we absolutely blazed. We blazed SoFi, guys. I appreciate everyone who was a part of that because that was an amazing call out on stock SoFi, going from $13 up to $18 and filling that gap. And you have a very similar situation here, but you have limited upside resistance. SoFi had some upside resistance. It had a channel that had been trading in for about 2 to 3 years now. Sound does not. I mean, it has this very vertical channel. And that resistance is next at $55. So I think the 3 levels you're looking at is the gap fill at 14, previous all-time high at 18, and then you blast to the races, and I think you go to 55. And that becomes the AI bubble to profit on for y'all. What I do like to see, you see a ramp up in volume here on the daily. That's always good to see with every breakout. Very, very important to look at that. So you could kind of diagnose, is this thing going to go back down? Is this a fake out breakout? Typically, if you don't get the green follow through, it doesn't look great. So that is a good sign for sound. Let's go to the 4 hour because there was one more good thing. And on the 4 hour with the breakout, you retested the wedge, bounced off, and you did also get a 4 hour golden cross, which is good for short-term upside momentum. So just overall, I like the picture on sound here. I am already in this. I'm not sure where you would get in if you weren't. Maybe a retest of the previous high here at 1090 or retest of this golden cross or the 50-day moving average. Of course, not financial advice. Don't take it as such, but that's what I would do personally. But I'm just a stupid retail trader who likes to swing trade momentum play. So our last stock for today is going to be Bull. And I love this stock ticker. I've been in love with this stock ticker because this is my baby. Webull, although it's been absolutely annihilated, let's take the measured downside here from the IPO. It went at some point 86% down. Man, nasty. That is disgusting. But what you like to see on Webull is you have a nice cup or accumulative formation here on very, very nice increase in volume. You are getting a golden cross as we speak. On Webull, which looks really, really nice, actually. And you are outside of this falling wedge that we played back here. We played the previous high. We bought in and then we sold at this previous resistance. So, where are we on Webull? You're getting the golden cross. On the daily, the ramp up in volume is stupid. It is absolutely nasty volume on Webull. You also have the 9-day moving average ramping up at a speed that is going to cross the golden cross at some point, and with that comes extreme momentum. Now, what would I do if I was looking to get an entry on Webull? It's a great question, and it wouldn't be particularly easy with how volatile this stock can be. Now, what you can look for is a potential cup and handle here. For me, that's the look that you want to play. And so what you would expect is you would expect some kind of channel here to form. You would expect some kind of consolidation here. Maybe it chops up and down and up and down. Maybe you get a buy-in at 1185. And then you play the breakout of that cup, and that takes you up to 18. And then you create a larger cup and handle, right? Because that's also previous resistance. and it does line up pretty nice. That would be the first option. The second option is, I believe you have a gap on the daily here at $16. You could look for a potential overnight trading session gap up, because this did close pretty much right on the resistance, and the overnight is up 3% already, right? So there's a lot of volatility in this stock. I believe it has high short interest, but everything that's happening with the brokerages within this bull market that we're in, retail money is starting to flow into stocks. And so what you see is a lot of these brokerages are going to go to the moon, because they are the ones benefiting from the mass FOMO from retail, right? So option one, you create a cup and handle, you trade sideways, get in on the bottom of that handle, you play to the top, right? Option two, there might not be an entry. This thing might just continue to cruise into the gap fill, and then that gap fill acts as extreme resistance. Very possible that gap fill just slams you back down to the neckline, and possibly the neckline would be your entry at 14.28. Very possible if this thing does blast past. Option three. You get in off of a retest of the golden cross right around $12. That would probably be my most likely, because that would be the first test on the golden cross that you would have. And for me, that is the most bullish of the three if this thing does consolidate. And I guess you could kind of play that into the cup and handle situation as well. But I like the stock. I really, really like Webull. And I know we had done a video on it previously talking about how this is one of my long-term holds. I need to be more liquid. I need crypto to go up already so I can have a longer-term stake in this thing, but I do believe in it heavily. I believe it's that next Robinhood, that next brokerage that's going to go higher, similar to Coinbase, right? I mean, the IPO is so volatile. There's so much interest in Webull. I personally use it every single day, and that's why I believe in it heavily. But that is all for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in to Trap Trades. And please, I would appreciate it if you drop a like and you drop a subscribe. Thank you to the community that has done so already. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and peace.